Have you ever struggled to provide meaningful feedback to your team, or felt unsure about the skills and abilities of job candidates during the selection process? These are common pain points for managers, but they can be alleviated by using competencies throughout the employee lifecycle. So why should competencies be used? Competencies are effective because they go beyond the basic requirements of a job to identify the behaviors that distinguish top performers. A typical job description or a task list focuses on the what. Competencies focus on the how. How do top performers achieve success? What does it look like at the University of Minnesota? Now let's take a look at what competencies are. Competencies are observable and measurable skills, behaviors, knowledge, abilities, and other characteristics that are needed for success in a particular role. Competencies can be specific to the job or position, or can be broader and focus on how to achieve results. To illustrate, imagine a team is working on launching a piece of software and is falling behind schedule. These things happen sometimes. To manage the approaching deadline, one can use their technical competencies, for example, thinking about how the process can be done more efficiently, what a faster quality assurance would look like, etc. But they would also need leadership competencies, such as holding themselves accountable, communicating effectively, and possibly how to manage conflict. Each competency contains multiple examples of the behaviors that drive success. Each competency has multiple levels of difficulty defined by progressive complexity, independence, and scope of responsibility required for different jobs. To illustrate the concept of levels and competencies, let's take a look at the example. Jenny is a business analyst at the University of Minnesota. As part of her role, she develops test plans and executes tests, and in doing so needs to look at the complex problems from multiple angles to uncover the root causes of issues. After a few successful years on the job, Jenny is promoted to a senior business analyst, where she is also expected to ask questions to encourage others to think differently and to make sense of contradictory information, which is the next level of the manage complexity competency. Fast forward a few years, and Jenny is considering the next role of a test manager. The level of managed complexity for the manager position is the same as for the individual contributor, but other competencies, for example, optimizing work processes, building teams, ensuring accountability, become more critical as she moves to the manager role and needs to get her work done through others more. Remember that competencies describe roles, not people, but they can help us select, develop, and evaluate people against the expectations of those roles. What are the benefits of using competencies? Since they are broad and universal, competencies can be applied across varying job types and levels and have a longer shelf life compared to other job-specific skills. Research shows that there's a high correlation between competencies and future performance. Up to 64% of successful future performance is related to competencies. Because competencies describe observable behaviors, they help you select better interview questions that thoroughly and impartially assess whether a candidate would succeed in a role. By connecting interview questions back to the competencies, you can measure things that actually matter to the work. Using competencies can also help you build a map for development because they can show what success looks like in the current role, what skills and behaviors are needed for your current role, and which ones might be needed for the next role. Competencies can help pinpoint where extra support is needed and where you need to focus your coaching. When connected to on-the-job experiences, they can help identify and highlight meaningful opportunities to practice and develop skills both on the job and as part of cross-functional teams, helping people acquire new skills and knowledge in an intentional way. This also provides transparency and agency to employees over their own development. Helpful in development conversations, competencies can be a powerful tool for managing performance. In many situations, performance problems derive from employees' behaviors and not their job-specific capabilities. For example, someone misses a deadline not because they didn't know how to complete the work, but because their approach created conflict with their teammates. Competencies allow us to speak to those behavioral issues in a way that is direct and easy to understand. Competencies can provide objective, observable criteria, so people know what's expected of them on the job, and they can be used to provide feedback and measure employee performance against those expectations in a consistent way. Using competencies throughout the employee lifecycle can help you hire the right people, help them get up to speed and successfully contribute faster, set and articulate clear performance expectations, provide meaningful feedback and help them develop, and grow the skills of your team that can help them be successful even beyond their current roles.